my channel. Today we're reading Trust Excuses from where I left off last time. If you're new here, thanks for coming to my channel. Subscribe, like, and comment. If you like any content, go watch my vlogs. I'm uploading more talks. I have to edit them, so I'm gonna edit probably today, which is Sunday, well, Saturday. I'm looking out. But yeah. So let's continue this video. If you are back for a second, third time, or fifth, sixth, seventh, thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope you like and enjoy. Comment down below. If you have any requests or something you'd like to talk about, let me know. And I'm here. Blood trust. It made everyone cringe when Grandma said it, but Jess had proven time and time again that Grandma was right. If you will lie, you will steal. No one understood why she did it. Spending quality time with her, listening to her speak, or involving her in any project that required hard work or consistent support made the truth indespicable. Jess was a liar and a thief who had hit almost everyone in the Porter family. Her mother had her siblings, her cousins, and her aunt and uncles all had a hard story they could tell about something Jess had stolen or something she lied about that involved the resources of other members of the family. No one could figure out how to convince Jess that her felonious behavior wasn't necessary. They all loved her. All she ever needed to do was ask for their help or support. They had each over time forgiven her and let her back into their homes and lives. Things would be fine for a little while, then bam, the cash would disappear. The credit card would have charges. The jewelry would be gone, and Jess would actually help you look for the missing item. Then you would discover who had invaded your account, and Jess would deny that she had anything to do with it, only to be caught in another lie. Everyone in the family shared a jaw-dropping moment when they discovered that Jess had cleaned out her grandma's bank account. All the money that Granddaddy had left her was gone. This time, however, Jess had covered her tracks so well it took them almost a year to discover what she had done and how she had done it. Aunt Belle, who was the first to raise suspicions about whether or not Jess had reformed her thieving ways. After Jess had written a string of checks on her mother's account and brought a computer with her brother's credit card, she had been all but banned from the family house. She was allowed to visit on Thanksgiving and Christmas. That was it. At all other times, she could call folks to speak to her, but she was not allowed into anyone's home. Those who let her in on holidays did everything in their home. Their property to just as Candace was the hardest on her. She consistently reminded her of what she had done and attached a few choice names to those memories. Mama Porter would not allow bickering between siblings, so she rarely told Candace when she saw or spoke to Jess. She loved her daughter and actually felt guilty about her bad behavior, believing there was something she had done or not done that caused Jess to betray and violate her loved ones the way she did. Jess was a teenager when her fingers became sticky, which is when Mama Porter put her in therapy. From the age of 16 until she was about 22, Jess seemed to have been reformed. She made peace with her father, and how strict she'd been with her and her siblings. She came to understand how the experience of deprivation as a child gave her an insatiable thirst to have things that she did not need, could not afford, or was simply attracted to as an adult. The strange thing was that she didn't steal from stores or strangers. Instead, she went to great lengths to steal from those who cared the most about her. But stealing from Grandma, come on, Jess, that just ain't right on any day of the week. Mama Porter had bought Grandma Porter a new computer for Christmas. They all wanted to join the family's online page so she could keep up with family news and information. Jess was the geek in the family and agreed to help Grandma become familiar with all the new technology so that she could always be in touch with the relatives who lived at a distance. Mama Porter helped Grandma set up all of her online bill pay accounts, and at a time when everyone thought Jess had reformed, she gave Jess the passwords. Jess showed Grandma where to go and what to do to store her passwords and how to change them. When Candace discovered that Jess had Grandma's password, she went ballistic. She told Jess, Mama Porter, and everyone else who would listen that they were crazy if they thought Jess would not rip Grandma off the way she had done with everyone else. At the time, it had been well over a year since Jess had invaded or violated anyone in the family. It even appeared that her tall tales about her life had come to an abrupt end. Candace didn't believe it would not believe it. She told them all, don't even call me when this goes down. I don't want to hear it. Okay, girl. Okay. How do you know when you can trust people again after they have violated your trust? The short answer is you may never know. People can do change. However, it is only if and when they violate you again that you can know for sure whether they have been reformed. Trusting people who have a history of being untrustworthy is a risky business because you will never know for sure what they will do or not. The mistrust goes around. People in general will use their past experiences to determine who they can or can't trust. In this sense, we all have some reason or another to not trust people. In fact, being mistrustful is more often than not this default setting in the mind of those who have experienced any level of betrayal or abuse in their lives. If people are too nice, we don't trust their motives or intentions. If people seem cagey or guarded, we believe they are up to no good. It doesn't take much to push a person from being open and vulnerable and trusting into a pit of fear, where their defenses are high and their guards are always up. Mistrust takes little or no effort. With enough internal or external evidence to support the plausible theory that this will protect you from future or abuse or betrayal, you will have to have a valid reason not to trust anyone. The questions are, does that really work? Does it really keep you safe? My experience has been that it does not. I once heard that believing and seeing yourself and as others as worthy will, while mistrust is about seeing the opposite. When you do not see yourself as worthy of peace, joy, and love, or sorts of other good things, you will see others in the same light, and in doing so will believe they are capable of all manner of wrongdoings. Following this line of thought and reasoning, we forget that life is like a mirror or an echo chamber. What you send out comes back. When you see, hold, or believe to yourself to be unworthy, you will attract people who believe the same about themselves and you. They will undoubtedly treat themselves and you with dishonor and disrespect. A violation of trust is as much a sign that people do not respect themselves as it is a sign that they are out to get you. People who honor themselves will more often than not honor you too. The key to trust is to remember that in this life we do not get all that we ask for, but we always get what we expect. This does not mean in any way excuse for people, nor does it make bad behavior, nor does it make you responsible for the misdeeds of others. However, and if when you find that you're repeatedly attracting folks who seem to abuse your trust, violate you in some way, and prove themselves to be untrustworthy, it may be time to scrutinize your thoughts and belief system. The other possibility that can lead to an unsuspected betrayal or violation of trust is refusing to see what you see and know what you know. Life is filled with people who can be trusted and people whom you should never trust. The trick is learning which club you belong to. If you remember the untrustworthy club, this does not mean you throw all the caution to the wind and throw open the doors of your life to everyone who passes by. You must live life with a healthy sense of caution and awareness. You must do your due diligence to make sure that the people are associated with are carrying the same club card that you carry. Folks will move from one club to the other depending on circumstances and situations in which they find themselves. May not be members in good standing of your group. Watch, listen, learn. Do not be fooled by appearances, but rather by educated by experience. Do not act like you do not know that people are capable of crossing lines. Do not hope against hope that your club is so attractive to them that they will remain a loyal and dues-paying member. Remember that liars lie, cheaters cheat, and thieves have a bad habit of stealing. This does not mean that you don't trust them or believe they can never change for the better. It means that until you have clear evidence that the shift has occurred, you should not trust them with your wallet or purse or believe they are working late every night. Back to our story. No one, including Jess, understood why she lied and stole. Everyone had a difficult time accepting that she did, except her sister Candace. Candace had been sexually abused as a young girl, married a man who cheated on her and lied about it. She didn't trust anyone and was totally self-righteous about suspicions. Mama Porter never told her children that Daddy Porter had been an alley cat because learning how to forgive him after he left her had saved her life and opened her heart. Jess, who had been Daddy's little princess, had never quite recovered from her father's departure. She loved her mother and sister daily, but also received reveals in therapy that felt the absence, which she secretly blamed on her mother, left her with a void that she could never quite fill. She was 16 when he passed away. After many discussions, family members determined that it was about that and that the spirit of dishonesty seemed to take hold of her. Although Jess came across everyone as a kind and thoughtful person on her good days, Candace believed that it wasn't safe to leave her alone in a room with goldfish. Then there was that time when Mama Porter couldn't find her ring and everyone blamed Jess. 3 months later, when Mama found the ring under the washing machine, no one could apologize enough to make it up to Jess for the months of ridicule and isolation she had experienced. As punishment for the missing ring, instead, they all began to act as if they didn't know what they knew about her past behavior. The first time the bank called to inform Grandma Porter of an irregular activity on the bank card, Jess was the one who took her to the bank to get a new card and then back home to change her passwords. The second time it happened was around Christmas, so no one became suspicious. By the fifth time it happened, though, even the bank and Candace believed that Graham Porter was a target because of online purchases and bill paying. When Mom reported asked Graham for a short-term loan of $25,000, they discovered that the trust account had been almost cleaned out. Over the course of 7 months, the balance, little by little, had been depleted from 42 to 58. At first, no one suspected Jess. It was only after the bank did a thorough investigation that they determined that most of the withdrawals had gone into another bank account, which was linked to Jess's Social Security. Child, people usually said Social Security, child. Like, you know how many times somebody be using somebody's Social Security, child? It's crazy out here. Like, the government, like, oh my God. That's another story. Well, you know, people who are prone to be dishonest, and they will have them not demonstrated that they have reformed the behavior. This does not mean they should not be trusted with anything. It does, however, mean it would not be wise to trust them to tell the truth. Jess had previously demonstrated that she was capable of jumping from the trustworthy club to the untrustworthy club. The challenge was not only her repeated violations of trust, it was also the difficulty acknowledging. Everyone except Candace had an accepting and acknowledging the truth. In the end, the family determined that no one had ever really trusted Jess. It was that they felt bad for her and about not acknowledging that she was in fact someone who lied, stole, and had repeatedly harmed them. They felt guilty about the times they accused her, only to learn over time that they were wrong. She was accused of that she did not. Grandma realized that she never wanted to come across as like Candace, who was very vocal and very committed to a total distrust of trust. It was not as attractive, nor did it feel loving. The bottom line was, after Jess' first major infraction, everyone expected and suspected her of being exactly who she had demonstrated herself to be, but because they loved her, they didn't want to talk about it. As human beings, it is our nature to want to be connected to our loved ones, to live in peace rather than pain, and to seek safety rather than fear. We have a difficult time accepting that things we believe should be good for us are not, and that the people who should be good to us are not. For this reason, mistrust is almost as painful as having our own trust betrayed, because it goes against our natural inclination. We have to work hard to maintain a line of mistrust, to be suspicious, or to hold on to past as evidence that keeps us alerted. Because we want to trust, we want to find ways to ignore signs. We excuse behaviors to deny internal alarms. Yeah, I agree. Like, okay, basic. So listen. So you know, so it's that person or friend, they be like, they tell the truth, but everybody be like, that's not nice. Basically, they get like backlash from saying what everybody else thinks, but nobody will say it. But when one person says, it's like, oh my gosh, you should not say that, even though they all thinking the same thing, you know, like they all thinking the same thing, but they're not gonna say it. But when the person who says it out loud does, it's a problem, basically, because she's more vocal. But when you're not as vocal, that doesn't mean you still don't think that. You probably do. We want people to be who believe they are. And also, family members, sometimes you need to cut them off. Like, sometimes you just need to cut your family off, because just because they are blood don't mean nothing. Like, a lot of people think, oh, they're family, I should cut them off. If they are disturbing your peace of mind, your life, anything, girl, no. If they trying to destroy you, if they trying to do this and that, you need to leave them people where they at. Because guess what? Just because you weren't happy, don't mean you gotta make me happy. Just because you're mad about something, don't mean you should predict that onto me. Just because their family don't mean they are allowed to cross line after line after line, and it just goes unnoticed. No, it's seen. But people feel like, oh, we want to be loved. Sometimes you gotta love people from a distance, baby. I stay over here, you stay over there. Because guess what? Some people, family is not always family. They be the ones backstab you in the back. They be the ones talking about you. They be the ones doing this stuff. And then when it comes to others, you don't trust others because, like, oh my gosh, they would do the same as my family. So sometimes you need to let go of your family, because your family is harming you and prone you to the abuse that it's okay to be treated that way. And most people, okay, let's go to the top, y'all. But basically, I was like, so I seen a video of Blueface and his girlfriend, big mama, and he's asking his son if he was gay. Crazy situation, right? But you know, I was just like, some people should not be parents, because it's like, one, why you got them two babies on the couch watching strippers? Like, no, like, that's not somewhere kids need to be around, an environment. And then it's the fact of the boy was looking for chips in pantry. I'm like, that boy hungry, he wants some chips. How about you grab some chips and feed them kids, okay? But anyways, sometimes parents do harm to you when you're young or do trauma or something, and they keep doing it and they think it's okay to do it because I'm the adult, I can do whatever. No, just because you're an adult don't mean nothing. You are a human being. You are accountable for what you do. When you are wrong, you are wrong. When you're right, you're right. You should be able to apologize, not think, oh, because I just hit my kid and they don't really deserve that because of my own abuse experience. Just because I beat them, don't make me nothing. No, beating your kid did not do nothing. Being a parent means being accountable. If you just because you have a roof over your head and they can eat and this and that don't mean you're a parent. That means that's the basic necessity. When your child don't know how to handle their anger, when they don't know how to handle them other people, when they don't know how to be emotionally intelligent because or they don't know how to do certain things, it's based on a parent sometimes, not all. But sometimes the parents don't be teaching these kids the things they need to know. Instead, they show them and teach them the ways that's okay. Like people need parents and adults need to start realizing kids are influenced by you. Kids see what you do, they think it's okay. So please don't be mistaken by thinking that when your kids see you doing something, it's okay. Real, like kids follow the adult lead, and when you set a bad example or behavior, then you wonder why when adults say do this, because they see you do it. When they see you in an unhappy relationship, they gonna be in an unhappy relationship because that's what my mom did. My mom didn't leave my dad, even though he did this and that to her, and he hurt her emotionally. It's okay because he loved her. No, that's not okay. You should not be unhappy. Like parents think the kids don't see it. No, kids know and see. Like I knew as a child, my dad was alcoholic. I seen him drink. I literally poured beer spit down one time, but I seen he was alcoholic. It didn't take long for me to see. I knew I could see it. He drunk. He was like he drinks. Like I could see. It's not something to hide. You know, it's something kids see. So don't stay with people because you feel like it'll help them. Sometimes I have another person in life is good. Okay, because they do more damage there than they do with the kids in the household, because kids learn from parents experience and stuff. Like when people are used to something like abuse or just being told things aggressively, it shows them how other people should treat them and allows behaviors that's not okay. And the parents are wondering why the kids don't know this, or they just letting people treat them away. It's because you show them examples. Their dad wasn't all that. You stay with him. You had kids, and yeah, they wasn't happy, but they stayed together, and it was cool. It didn't affect me. It definitely does. Like just because you you have to think about your kids, because your kids see what happens. Your kids, like I disassociated because I seen that happen. Like that's just something like boom came to me. Like your kids see your relationship with people. They see it, and you have to realize that it's not good. Like your kids see it, and you need to know that you need to change your life and take accountability. Because I see this TikTok, and this mama had told invited this boy daddy over his father because he said that she's not a good parent, and he said, oh, don't look for a gift for Mother's Day because I'm not getting you a gift. And basically the mom's like, oh, and I didn't watch the video, but she's like, oh, what do you mean? And this and that. And it's like, girl, but this is the thing, why are you coming on internet to show this? How about you sit down and have a conversation with your son to see why he feels like you're not a good parent? Maybe it's the way you talk to him. Maybe it's how you treat him. Your kids are not here to be your maid, because they're not maids. They're kids who are going to be adults sooner or later, who are going to have effects from that. So don't think it's okay. Basically, like how people are raised affects them very much. Just because you don't think it yet, you're going to see it. When your kids are acting bad, it's, oh my gosh, my kid is a bad kid. Maybe that's because they marry your behavior. Maybe when you act out emotionally, they act out emotionally too, because you don't know how to handle yourself. So they do not handle themselves in emotions. They can't have a conversation. They can't. They have to scream because they don't feel that. So how about people be better parents? Because just because you give birth to somebody don't make you mama, don't make you daddy. Okay, some people are sperm donors. Okay, sperm donors. They just provide the sperm, and they a father or a person being financially accountable for the kid. They just sperm donors. Y'all not like people expect. Oh, you should always respect your parents. Respect is given both. Respect is earned. Just because, like, somebody could be abusing you, but it's okay to love them still because that's my dad. No, they're toxic. Get away from them. Cut them off. Cut the cord, baby. Cut the cord. You never seen Child Love a Mama's Boy? Like, they be disrespecting these people, girlfriends, and they be like, well, it's my mom. So, no. Why is your parents so overly involved in your life? Like, why are they trying to tear your relationship apart? Is that not weird? But a lot of things are typical in this world and culture and all that. But that's another topic. Okay, but let's continue reading. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, girl, 11 minutes. We want people to be who we believe they are. And in doing so, we open ourselves to opportunities for them to prove they are not full trust members of the Trustworthy People Club. Learning to trust others means paying attention internally and externally without guilt or shame and knowing what you know. It means telling yourself the truth about yourself and others to the degree that you are willing to protect yourself without injuring or insulting them. It means having boundaries that are solid and consistent. It means choosing how to be in a relationship with others in a way that honors them and honors what you feel and know. There are times when drawing a hard line in the sand will not only protect you, it will also protect people from themselves and the untrustworthy behavior that they can't seem to control. When it comes to trusting family members, we walk a tightrope that many of us struggle with. For some reason, logical or not, we believe that because we relate to somebody by blood, they will not or should have the same human fragilities as the rest of the human race. We want to believe that our parents will not betray or disappoint us, that uncle, cousins, or grandparents will not violate us, and that our siblings, whether older or younger, will keep us in a special place in their hearts. Millions of us have learned from experiences that nothing could be farther from the truth. Fathers and mothers can lie. Aunts and uncles will sexually molest. Siblings will abandon and disappoint. Knowing this, it's important to recognize and understand that although we share bloodline with people, we also share in the human condition. We also have lessons to learn, weaknesses to overcome, strengths to develop, and temptations to avoid. Overcoming a family betrayal violation is a very bitter pill to swallow. So bitter, in fact, it sometimes comes back up on us. My suggestion is that you gain some additional perspective by neutralizing the blood relation ASAP. Start by removing the relative label from the offense and deal with it as if they were just another person. In doing so, you can expect the negative ego to fight back, giving you every plausible reason to be extra outraged or damaged and hold on to the hurt because they should have known better. Some people don't know better. Some people don't care. Okay? Here I would offer you what Brian Katie said in her work: when you argue against reality, you will suffer. The reality is that whatever was done was not done because the person was related to you. The reality is you experienced it and they did it because somewhere in your shared humanness, they were something each of you needed to learn or heal. Family betrayal is a result of opportunity covering with human weaknesses to produce a human condition that requires healing and forgiveness. They are no more or less devastating than any other violation of betrayal of trust. It all boils down to this: you have a choice. You can use a trust violation within your family as a reason to not trust it, or you can look for lesson employee forgiveness, heal, and grow. In making the choice, consider this self-supportive and self-honoring. Do I want to be right about how wrong they were, or do I want to find and claim peace? And that is the end of chapter 9. Thank you for watching. But let me continue on my writing though. So basically, I need to do that. Okay, back y'all. So basically, let me just continue. So I'm just saying, like, y'all, family, just because somebody's family don't mean they can do this and that and you should stop it. Like with the Tamika Latasha Scott situation, she's definitely giving like, oh my gosh, my sister's not. And also the mom was a problem. She's like, you're jealous. I'm the 5th member to escape. No, mama. Last time I checked, he was on just kicking. You was on just understanding, baby. It's Tiny, Candy, Tamika, Latasha, right? Okay. Because I didn't know you was the 1st member. Okay. Like people just be weird, and just because somebody's family don't mean nothing. If your mom wasn't a good parent, she ain't a good parent. Your daddy ain't worth nothing. He ain't. Okay. It's the truth. You cannot argue with the person's reality. Like with how a person is. If they ain't show for you, they're dead people. If they're not doing for the child, what are they? Okay, like, be for real. I'm just saying. Because y'all like to sugarcoat stuff for family members. Like, oh, don't talk about what they did to you. Why? Because it make them look bad? Why is that? Because they're family, so it's okay for them to repeatedly do something over and over again because they're family. No, it's not. Because y'all think it's okay to take abuse from family, but then wonder why y'all let other people's lives. It's because you learned that from your family. When you take so much from family, and what they do. It's easy when others do it because it's like, oh, it's nothing new that my family did that, but it's still not right. It's still not right. Like, you think your mom's talking to you crazy? It's fine. No, it's not. Like, parents, some people don't have patience for kids, and then they get mad when kids ask questions as if kids can't be curious. I feel like kids should ask questions. Kids should be curious. And if you can't answer the question, just say don't answer that question, or look up the answer. Do better. Be better parents to these kids that's coming up in the world because they are the future. Basically, you know. And people are like, oh, but my child's this and that. How are you raising them kids? How is it behind the scenes? Because I don't know what's going on in a lot of people's households, I know what happened in mine. If you want to have the title and actually don't feel entitled because you just gave birth. Somebody could give birth and give their child up. I'm just saying. Like, you need to make sure your kid is they can handle their emotions. They know boundaries, because some people don't know boundaries. Family think, oh, just because I'm family, I could come in your room. No, you need to knock first. Have some boundaries, okay? Like, come on now. Like, your privacy. Like, some things people just don't know, because when you raised in a household and your family pressure you, it's like, yeah. And also, my thing I hate about adults is they be like, oh, I'm the adult, so you just try to stay in your child's place. If you, as the adult, know I need to stay in my child's place, don't talk about things around me if I'm the child. How about you talk about it after I'm out the room, okay? Miss Ma'am, since you're so worried that I'm not in the child's place, okay? I tell you that. Because people or adults be like, oh, don't be in a conversation. But kids are looking at you, but they, like, if they're in the same room, don't talk about other people. Because then kids will repeat that and know that about somebody. And you're like, oh, don't tell nobody. And you be like, oh, stay in child's place. But you as an adult are not making sure the child don't hear that. So why are you mad now that the child know that? Because you wasn't doing your job protecting them kids from not hearing that, but you mad that they're hearing it, but you're not trying to protect them from that conversation or put them in another room and have a conversation. Why are you mad now? Like, y'all say that, but y'all also want kids to be adults and grow up and do this and that, and it's you do what I say because I'm your mom. No, that doesn't mean nothing. If you want me to go make a plate, I don't really have to do it. Is you can ask stuff, and I say no, and it gives me a choice. Because y'all take a lot of kids' power and choices away from them, and make them do stuff they don't want to do. And y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Shame. Y'all really need to change, because adults feel like I'm the parent, I'm the adult, so I tell you what to do. It's control. That's not being a parent. That's controlling. And then it's like y'all be mad when your kids be friends with people, and they be like, oh, if they jump for rich, you jump for rich. I wouldn't, but some people would, because that's what you taught them to do. Because you control them so much that when other people do something, it's okay. I should follow their lead. So how about y'all be better parents and stop making your kids believe that they should do what y'all want them to do and be how you want them to be and how you are, and all this other nonsense bullcrap stuff. Because you have taught them that I should follow other people's leads and not be a leader. Because I listen to my mama, I should listen to her every time because she know better. No, that don't mean it. Your kids are still their own people. They are their own people. They have their own individual selves. So yeah, like I'm just sick of it. Sick. Throw it away, honey. Child, like parents can't some parents think, oh, I'm the parent, so my child shouldn't tell me this. When your child is telling you something, you should listen. You know why? Because your child is telling you have time to do better. And instead, you want to be posting on the internet as if we're going to give you some gratitude. When if somebody needs to really be calling CPS on you because what you're doing is wrong. Because I've seen our mama cut her hair off because she's trying to look cute. I'm like, but is that what you're doing? Like, you think you're doing a better job because you're cutting her hair off on the front of the internet? No, what you need to do is stay off these TikTok acts, Instagram, and all that, and stop recording your children and deal with the behind the scenes, because y'all embarrassing your kids publicly and y'all think it's okay. And it's something wrong with y'all, because it's not okay. You should not be publicly embarrassing your kids. It's like relationships. If you have something going on in your relationship, you need to deal with it privately. Don't come to the internet. I don't hear it. I don't want to see it. I don't care. What you need to do is handle it privately. If your child did something, talk to them. Figure out why. Gentle parent, child, do something, but don't bring it to the internet, because I don't care for it. I don't care to see it. This is people who will remember the embarrassment. And however they will cope, however. I don't know. But y'all need to do better. Because I don't want to see nobody else talking about posting a video of what their kid did said. Because once you post on the internet, you let other people's judgment come in, and then your child is then embarrassed going to school. No. Like, when your kid is telling you not being a good parent, ask why. maybe look at yourselves deeply. Get help. Get some therapy because y'all need it. Goodbye. Hope you enjoyed this lovely little random minds, you know. Come back to my channel if you want some more. And, you know, hope you enjoyed. Bye, y'all.